welcome back. We got Von and Jude in the house. We're going to talk some AFCON. How are we doing, guys?
Good. Yeah, I think I'm still recovering from the final we witnessed last night. I've never seen a football match like that ever in my life.
Neither have I.
And it's one of those where you're going to remember it for a very long time.
Doesn't it feel like one of those games where there are a lot of people out there who didn't tune in, and they'll remember looking at their phones and seeing like other people remembering it, but they're not going to remember that game because, yeah, man, a lot of people, I saw the viewership figures and it was so much lower than what I expected. But wow, what a game for the people who tuned in.
What was the viewership, just for interest's sake?
Oh, I'll have to get the tweet, but it was something like 82% lower than Euro final, the last one, which I kind of get. You've got a lot of people tuning in to the Euro finals because you've got players who are playing in other clubs all over the world and they're interested for that reason, or a bigger football market. But I think gradually during the game, I'm sure the viewership bumped up as people realized there was something crazy going on. But yeah. Speaking of AFCON, Jude, why don't you kick us off, given you were doing your TV job earlier, and congratulations on all the various appearances on TV, Jude, that you've had lately.
Thank you.
Congrats on the podcast. Yeah, walk us through what was a pretty insane Sunday evening of AFCON.
Yeah, it's as I said, I've never seen a football match like that where players, like half the team, went back to the changing room. I think nothing really happened. I think there's that rule where if one player is still on the field of play, like it's still game on. I don't know if that came into play last night, but CAF says they are reviewing all the footage from it and there are going to be sanctions for whichever party transgressed rules and unsportsmanlike conduct. But in my opinion, I feel like Senegal deserved to win purely because of some of the calls that were made. I think the Senegal goal initially, I think that should have stood. I think that's a very harsh foul to call, and the fact that it wasn't looked at VAR. And if that is not a foul, the foul for the penalty shouldn't have been a foul either. Pretty much almost the same kind of offense, a touch to the shoulder. And then the Panenka. I think that's the worst possible time to try and pull off a Panenka. It's the last kick of the game in a major final. Yeah. And what happened.
With his weak foot.
With his weak foot, trying to write an amazing story. What? Just didn't work out for him.
I'm not even sure the story is that amazing. If it goes in, I'm like, yes, you've won the game, or you've scored the goal with your weaker foot, but like, is the risk ever worth the reward in that scenario? That's a crazy move. I don't know. If I was a coach, I think I would lose my mind if a player missed a penalty in the final with their weaker foot. Like,
sure.
And I think the sad thing about it is he had such a good tournament up until that moment.
Great player.
And then, but also Mendy has saved a Panenka like that before. So surely you know that this is not.
So yes, he had a great tournament. He finished as the top scorer, but no one's going to remember him for having a great tournament. They're just going to remember the Panenka attempt. Unfortunately for him.
Yeah. But there were
I saw a lot of people liken it to Roberto Baggio's penalty against Brazil at the World Cup.
A similar level of infamy, I think, is odds here.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously a lot of things have come out on social media and stuff like that post the final. But there was just so much, for lack of a better word, and I'm sorry, mommy, if you're listening to this, but so much shithousery that was going on. But like specifically from the Moroccan side, I mean, it started before Senegal even arrived in Rabat. Like they had to take a train. And when they arrived at the train station, there was no security for them. So they were swamped by fans. And then they were given a training ground right next to Morocco's training ground. So they didn't have any security or any secrecy or anything to that effect. And then I'm sure you guys have seen the videos everywhere about the towels and like just fighting over stupid things. But at the same time, I still don't think it excuses Senegal for walking off the pitch. And I genuinely think the Senegal coach or manager, I don't know if he's a coach or a manager, we'll ask Amiram to explain the difference. I don't think he should. I think he should be banned from football because I don't think he's like, what's the right word? He's not a leader. That's the word I'm looking for. He's not a leader. He's not a coach. He's not a manager. Like, that's not how you behave.
I think there was a lot of emotions in the air at the time. And I think if he were to relive the situation, I don't think he would have called the players off the pitch. This is my opinion. A decision that's made in a moment like that can't, I feel like he wasn't thinking properly, is what I'm trying to say in that moment.
Fair enough. But I mean, he also caused fights in the Egypt game as well, which was also unnecessary. And you don't, as a manager and a coach, you don't go storming onto the pitch. Like, it's your job to calm everyone down. And yes, you can be emotional, but that's not how a leader behaves, in my eyes, at least.
I agree. It's not how a leader behaves. It depends whether football wants professionalism or WWE style entertainment. I personally found it to be a very entertaining game. There's a balance, right? Because like football has become a little bit medical in some respects, where every decision has to be the correct one from an objective point of view, even if we spend 5 minutes deciding what that decision looks like. Personalities have been like massaged out the game, so everyone is a sort of a PR massaged message that the club has approved in every interview. And even the games actually have become, especially in the Premier League, often quite these like tactical bore fests. I saw that we have 17 0-0 draws in the Premier League this season. Last season, we had 16 in the whole sort of calendar year, and we're in game week 22, and we've got 17. The number of goals overall, I think if City and Arsenal score at this rate, City will end on 78 goals and Arsenal on 69, which would be the lowest for both clubs in 10 years. So scoring is on the way down. And I think with all those various things looking at less entertaining, a game like this sort of comes out of nowhere, right? It's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
If you look at the two lineups, you'd say Morocco are strong favourites. Would you agree with that? No?
It's a tough one. I think both sides have equal amounts of quality in terms of just who the players are and of course where they play, which kind of has a bearing if you're looking at those things. For me, it was pretty equal.
Okay.
The players that I watch regularly or have watched regularly. And then the players that I didn't know, they're still international level players and performed well on the big stage.
Yeah. What a strange, I don't even know if it's a good advert for AFCON or a bad advert. In a way, it's like, come watch this crazy final. And another way, it's like, you're going to see some stuff you might never see anywhere else.
I've also never watched a game in my entire life that was like that. And I feel like if you miss the game, it sort of gives me 2005 Liverpool Champions League final vibes, where you wake up and you're just like, what actually happened? But
dream, yeah.
Yeah, like at the same time, we got people talking about AFCON somehow. I've never seen my feed with European and American football analysts or netizens basically commenting so much about AFCON after this tournament. It got people talking, which is something that I think is really, really good. And one thing I must say about the tournament itself was Morocco's stadiums were beautiful. Their pitches were world class. And if I understand correctly, they might be awarded the next Club World Cup to prepare them for the World Cup in 2030. So I just think like they really, really stepped it up well.
The one in 2030 is the one with Spain and Portugal.
It's for 6 countries.
Yeah.
The 3 South American ones, and then Spain, Portugal, Morocco.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the weird weekend of Premier League action. I think it was, I don't know about you, but I did not see United beating City. Maybe I should have. Maybe I should have, actually. Like the new manager bounce and all that. Guys, see this coming?
I didn't. We are well within chasing down Arsenal, and playing Man United, whether it's at home or away, is one game now more than in the last 10 years, is a game that City should be winning if they are serious about chasing Arsenal. But other than that, other than the result, I think United played really well. I think the performance that surprised me, it got me questioning what was Amorim doing the whole time. It's basically the same players, just set up a little bit differently, but the quality is there to pull off such results. And it's about putting them together. Maybe they'll go on a run and that guy can cut his hair if he's still growing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently he's still growing it. And I think someone put an AI thing of him actually with a shaved head now, that it's coming. I haven't seen United play that well in years. It's like, do you remember that time when Jude said, has anyone tried to put United in rice? And I feel like...
What does that mean?
Yeah. You said, like, has anyone tried to put United in rice to, like, reset them and reboot them? I feel like that happened. I also didn't know that Carrick is Sir Alex Ferguson's son-in-law. So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. But something...
I didn't know that.
I mean, everyone showed up. And obviously having the players back from AFCON as well made a big difference. But, geez. So it looked like City of, like, yesteryear before they got the money that was playing on that pitch. I think they had one shot on target, if I remember correctly.
City were bad.
City were terrible. And the fact that they've made so many signings recently is just sad to see.
Yeah. And I don't know, City flattered to deceive this season. There's like moments where they go on a hot streak, but I put Foden in my team after he scored that one banger. And then he went on a 5 or 6 game streak where every game he was scoring. The moment Foden stopped scoring on a streak like that, you know you can transfer him out because he doesn't go back. He'll go quiet for a few months. And it's come at a bad time because Haaland is quiet, which is odd for City. I don't know. I haven't seen Haaland look this muted in quite a while. Even when they play badly and they concede goals, he's still in the game and getting his shots off. And I don't know, there were quite a few nearly moments in this game, but for him, 1 or 2. But for the most part, he was just locked down. You know, Maguire did a really good job, I thought.
Yeah,
I think Haaland was more than usual involved in the actual play. I feel like sometimes he's more of a target man. I think he was more involved, but as you said, Maguire doing a job on him and keeping him quiet and off the score sheet.
Yeah, I feel like when Haaland is playing more infield and trying to control balls and stuff like that, that's not when you get the best out of him. He needs to just be your focus and
find the space, get the ball to him.
Trying to back and stuff like that, that's not when you're going to get the best out of him. But I also feel like with Donnarumma, he's such a good goalkeeper. Like he really, really is. But once you break him and you score once against him, it's very easy then to get more goals against him.
Yeah, I noticed the same thing. You're right.
Yeah, like he's got this, I'm lacking the word for like when you're at war and then you like break the forces almost. What is the word? You'd help me. Like
the shackles.
Yeah, no, like when you siege the barrier. I can't. You guys know what I mean. Like
When you break the barrier.
something like that. Yes. And then once that happens, it's like floodgates almost.
You open the floodgates.
Yeah. Let's
That's a
go.
good analogy.
Because like it's so strong, and then once the dam wall breaks, like everything floods.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that because there are games where he's just incredible. Thinking of PSG Arsenal semi-final of the Champions League last season where, oh man, in that second leg in particular, he was just outstanding. But I've seen a few games this season for City where you just watch 1, 2, 3 and you're like, oh, okay, maybe the first goal, yep, I can understand why you haven't saved that. But you expect an elite keeper to, even when you're under siege, save 1 or 2 goals just because they're elite. That's their job. Yeah, odd game. What do you think about United's prospects under the interim manager until the end of the season? Are we going to see a resurgent United, or is this a bit of a false dawn? What are we saying? Predictions?
I don't know. There's kind of a trend with United. Every time they get an interim manager, they end up doing well, and that interim manager then becomes permanent, and it's a cycle, and it never ends up working. I think the closest they've come to it working was when Oli was there, because he was also an interim manager. And there's that famous Rio Ferdinand clip where he's give him the checkbook, let him write whatever number, he is at the wheel. Yeah. So I do think it's gonna be a better second half of the season for United. If the game against City is anything to go by, they have been, even under Amarim, they were quite inconsistent in terms of results. If they can keep up the winning, if that guy cuts his hair, that's a good sign.
I just need them to be consistent for this coming weekend, and then it's fine. Even though they might go above me in the league, I just need them to be consistent for this coming weekend.
Feel like there's going to be a lot of people supporting United this weekend, and that's fine.
That far to say I'll support them, but I mean, if they win, I wouldn't be angry about it fully.
No, I want United to lose their top 4 rivals.
And I'm literally saying, like, if they win, and because the way Liverpool are playing right now, I don't know, we might just draw yet another game. So they'll go above us, but someone needs to take points off Arsenal, and for all 3, not just 2.
Yeah, it's worth saying, speaking about that game for a second, I suppose. I'm going to be at the game, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm a little nervous. I do think that obviously you've got the new manager bounce and all that, so United are in the right mood for a sort of a scalping. But I think United games have always been difficult. Like, even when they're terrible, Arsenal versus United, it's a game within its own little universe or its own microcosm. So I don't know if it changes all that much. All I'll say is I hope it's an exciting game. I hate excuses. And so now, if we beat United and we give them a hiding, what's the excuse, you know? That would be such a shock to people, I think, and would set people back so far in their estimations of what's happened at United that I can't help but just be an evil person and really, really want that to happen. But I think it'll be a really close game. Yeah, it could come down to, as usual, a set piece or a moment of magic from either side to make it happen. But I don't see a 4-4 type game. The Premier League doesn't throw them up very often anymore. They're more often or more likely to be a 1-0 than they are, unfortunately, a high scoring game. Just a final comment on me, though, was on the last game week. City obviously lost to United. Arsenal drew. Liverpool drew. Villa lost. Chelsea won. Nice. I
think this is the first time the top 4 or something.
Yeah, for a long time. And I'm just wondering whether you guys feel at all that fixture congestion is having an impact here, because United did look really fresh and really up for it. And you're having other teams like Liverpool and Chelsea and Arsenal playing 4 games in 12 days. 12 games in 4 days would be something. 4 games in 12 days, that's a lot of football. Do you feel that's at all explaining why teams like City, Arsenal, Liverpool, and to be honest, Villa as well looked a bit lethargic this weekend?
I mean, it is entirely possible that is the case. Man United not playing any European football, getting knocked out in the cups in the first round, that they are in, having 40 games in the season. They would want to look fresh and be fresher than those in and around them. Yeah, it is a possibility. I don't know, but we just come out of a very busy period in English football in general, where there hasn't been European football since the beginning of December. But yeah, it is a possibility, but you never know, like, what the training schedules are like and how hard they train and those type of things.
Yeah, fair. What are we saying then for game week 23? I think what do we have? We got Newcastle Villa, which I think is potentially a really nice game.
Potentially, all the games that are potentially bangers end up being like a stale draw.
Yeah. This has 1-1 written all over it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna write that down 1 sec for bets.
I actually think we might be surprised with like a 3-2 to Villa or something.
3-2 to Villa, you're saying?
Yeah.
We bounce back after a loss.
Palace Chelsea. What do we think about that?
Happy Marguerite isn't there anymore. That'll do us well. I haven't spoken on this podcast about my new manager.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what he can do. I'm cautiously optimistic. He talks a big game. We played very well against Brentford, although there were some things that I wasn't like, some of the defending wasn't to standard or up to how I would like. Robert Sanchez had a lot to do, in other words.
Yeah.
But as long as he gets results, like Liam, you can say as long as you want, bruv. Just get results.
He's young though, hey?
He's young.
Yeah, he's 41.
It's got 2-0 Chelsea written all over it for me, with Palace in the weird space that they're in.
Managers leaving at the end of the season.
Also, managers making really awful comments to the media.
Yeah, he's
Glasner.
Yeah, so just before the game, he made comments about how he was told he had made his choices for the team lineup and whatever, and he was told, no, you can't include Gay because he's being sold, like the day before the game, and he didn't even know about it. He's like, how do you expect me to go and win a game when my captain and my main defender is being sold, and that I find out a day before? Same like with Eze, apparently he found out the day before that Eze was being sold. So he's just like, I understand that this is not just a football club and it's also a business, but communication needs to happen, and he really needs Gay right now, and he shouldn't be thrown under the bus for money, in other words.
Yeah, he's had problems with Palace's hierarchy for not investing in the team for a while, and I think he probably feels at some level that if Palace had been invested in under his tenure, that he might have, that there may have been like a top 6 finish on the cards for Palace this season, But
I also think this is the risk you run when you win a trophy. Like, winning the FA Cup means people are going to be watching your players a lot more closely. And if the rumors are correct, I think Mateta's also said that he doesn't want to stay and he wants to move as well, because he thinks that he deserves a new challenge, and belongs in the bigger club. Bigger, and I say bigger in inverted commas, but like
Also,
he belongs in
he
like
also has a bizarre aspiration to. He said before he retires, he needs to play for a Serie A club in Italy, which
Weird dream.
yeah,
But go for it. I think Crystal Palace falls within the category of clubs that can't really push for anything more than what they do, just because when they sign a talent and the talent explodes, 10 out of 10 times they're gonna sell that player to a bigger club.
feeder club.
They're a selling club, and that's just, it's unfortunate that those kinds of clubs are a thing. Imagine if all the so-called smaller clubs in the league were to hold on to their most talented players, where
forever.
certain, well, not forever, but I mean throughout their prime, let's say, how the Premier League would look in terms of competitiveness.
I mean, you'd have people like Semenyo staying, of course. I'm thinking of Arsenal's team. How many of them are made up of players from within the league? And there's a few. Ben White from Leeds, Brighton.
Yeah, Brighton. Oh,
Brighton,
yeah.
actually, yeah.
I just think about Liverpool, poor Southampton. We gutted them.
Yeah.
We completely gutted them.
Brighton is a good example as well.
Yeah.
Pedro, McAllister,
Yeah.
Trossard.
Look at Wolves. Like
Wolves as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. So City's playing Wolves. Predictions there. I mean, City haven't won since Boxing Day, I think. It's been 4 game weeks.
Yeah, they haven't won. They haven't won this year.
Yeah.
And Wolves, shame, they're picking up points.
They finally
they're looking good. Would it be crazy for a draw? A crazy prediction.
1-1 here.
As a City Wolves draw.
Yeah.
No, I think with Gay signing now and Semenyo guys. Semenyo would hit the ground running for City. So
Semenyo played at Old Trafford, or did he? I didn't really.
He also played. He played on the right wing. He didn't play on the left wing because he played Doku on the left.
Yeah.
Semenyo on the right, and I know Semenyo can play down both wings. So I think that might have made a bit of a difference for him because I don't think Semenyo has played on the right in a long time.
Semenyo's
at one stage he even went into a false 9 sort of position. So it was a little bit weird for me. But I don't see Wolves getting any points off City because they're going to come back with revenge. I mean, it is City at the end of the day. Watch Haaland score like a quadruple hat-trick. Not that dramatic. But
please don't. FPL will never be the same. Arsenal United. I'm gonna go with a controversial, potentially, actually not really, 2-1 win to Arsenal.
It's at the Emirates.
It is indeed.
Oh, you guys never travel.
I am going with an Arsenal win.
Score?
By 1 goal. I don't know, 2-1, 1-0, 3-2. Any of those variations.
Should I be real or should I just be the pain in Tim's butt right now?
Pain.
2-0.
You gonna what?
I'm gonna say United 2-0.
2-0.
Really?
Clean sheet. Interesting.
Are you trying to get into Sal's good books?
Sal must just come back on this podcast and maybe we can talk.
You guys debated, he's lost a manager, so that doesn't help your standing in an argument, does it? Bournemouth Liverpool's my last one on the list for quick prediction. I think Liverpool's going to win it, and I think it's going to be comfortable. So I'm going with it is away, actually. Is it away? It is away.
I think it is.
Still going with a 2-0 win. 2-0 win to Liverpool for me.
I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool.
I'm going to go for a 3-0, but a difficult one. And the only reason why I think it's going to be a semi-convincing win in a way, is because there's rumors that Xabi Alonso is currently in Liverpool. There's pictures of him at Albert Dock and at Cosby Beach with his wife. And I'm trying not to smile this big about it. But yeah, apparently Xabi Alonso is on holiday in Liverpool at the moment.
He possibly just enjoying his severance package.
Possibly, but I mean, he could have gone to a summer country, you know, out of Spain, anyway, but he chose to go to Liverpool. But there is also like, I also saw an advertisement campaign of like old school players, and there is also a Legends match coming up in March. So maybe it's for that. Maybe it's for other reasons. I don't know. Maybe he just went to go see Steven Gerrard and have like a good fun, like meet Gerrard's grandkid.
Do you think Alonso can just, slot in?
I love it.
Honestly, no, a joke. Please don't answer that. It was a joke. It was a joke.
No. Wait, this is my genuine thoughts. I don't think FSG are going to fire Arne Slot this season. But I do think that they're in talks for Xabi Alonso for next season. If Arne gets kicked out of the Champions League and the FA Cup, then things might be accelerated a little bit. But I think as long as we're in those two tournaments and there is still a trophy that we can possibly put our hands on, he will keep his job. I think Salah coming back makes a big difference. Our injuries have completely gutted us, and we have long-term injuries, which is difficult, but that's not an excuse for the way that we're playing. So I don't think Xabi will slot in this season. My dream, because slot is not fulfilling my dream. My dream is to have Xabi Alonso as head coach and Steven Gerrard as assistant, and then my life will be made.
And in another episode of Football Manager. Okay, so we all went with a Liverpool win in the end. I think that's probably all we've got time for. Trying to wrap it up at 30 minutes. We just about made it, I think, if you exclude some of the stuff at the beginning.
It was episode 25, by the way.
Hey?
Episode 25.
25. There we go. 25 is a nice round number. I like that.
Quarter of a century.
We love that. Von, Jude, thank you as ever for making time and joining us for a chat about the Premier League and football in general. Listeners, thank you as always for tuning in, and chat to you next time. Ciao for now.